Ice Age, Continental Drift. When it comes to the franchise, I feel like it tries to be the next big animated film series like Madagascar or Toy Story, but it's not necessarily working out. It's like if Blue Sky realized they had something when they released the first movie, which is also their first movie, but then the sequels come in and they never seem to be as good as the first one. Or just good in general. Sure, they can be successful at the box office, but after they leave the big screen, nobody seems to talk about them anymore. But now that they came back for the fourth time, will the franchise return to its former glory? Or will Blue Sky add this to their collection of pointless Ice Age sequels? Let's find out. The story. Stop me if you've heard this one. Our main characters are separated from the group of animals because the ground below them broke due to the world is changing, and now they have to find a way to get back to them while the others have to find a way to survive from the big changes that the Earth is making. Now you might be wondering, why am I talking about the plot of Ice Age 2 when I should be talking about the fourth one? Well, here's the thing. Blue Sky decided to take the total lazy route and took the story of the second movie and added or changed a few things to make it into Ice Age 4. I don't get it! Ice Age 2 is the worst film of the series! Why are movies like this and Happy Feet 2 are trying to copy its plot? Anyways, if you're still not convinced that this is an Ice Age 2 copy, there's also a subplot where Diego meets and falls in love with a girl saber-toothed tiger that follows some misfit pirates. Gee, isn't that like how Manny met a girl mammoth that follows some misfit possums in the second movie? Of course, this isn't an exact copy of the second film. Like I said, they did add some things to make it different. But unfortunately, none of those things add into the plot. I feel like they're made just to fill that 90-minute mark. The only good thing that I could say about this is the subplot of Scrat. It has nothing to do with the movie itself whatsoever, but it's the best and funniest part of the movie. Sometimes you don't have to make pop culture references to be funny. All you need is just some good old Wile E. Coyote slapstick and you're all set. As for the rest of the jokes, if you've seen the trailer for this, then you've pretty much heard the best and only funny ones. Taking a plot from another movie is one thing, but taking a plot from another movie that's from your own series? That's just wrong. The animation. The one thing that Ice Age doesn't offer us as much as other popular franchises in terms of animation is to see something new. The only time they did that would be in the third one, where they're in the jungle with some dinosaurs. The rest is just extinct animals on a huge pack of ice. For Continental Drift, they're still going with the animals on ice. Don't get me wrong though, it still looks pretty good. The texture of the animal's fur looks realistic. The background animation can give us a nice view like a landscape during the end of winter, and the designs on the new characters and the character animation are pretty cartoony, but for a film like this, it works. Also, there are several scenes where we see Sid, Diego, and Manny riding a block of ice on a raging ocean, where even I have to admit it was cool, and it's pretty much one of the highlights of the movie. But then again, it's already been done. We've already seen what they can do with animals from the Ice Age and landscapes filled with ice and snow. And I don't know how many times I've seen a typhoon scene in an animated film. I think even in the previous Ice Age films they did that as well. Now they do try to add different things during the filler scenes like the giant crab or the sirens with sharp teeth. But again, already been done in the previous Ice Age films with giant dinosaurs and piranhas with sharp teeth. Another thing is that, like Madagascar 3, the characters would get way too close to the screen to do a 3D effect, but most of the time, they would have a butt-ugly face and would make me feel more uncomfortable. The animation here is nice, but there's not enough things to impress me or haven't been done before. The characters. If they don't give a crap on writing the story, what makes you think they'll put in effort onto the characters? And by the way, they put quantity over quality on this one, so it might take a while. When it comes to Sid, for some reason, they're still doing that he's a screw-up plot point with him. Okay, we get it. It's the 4th time you're doing this, Blue Sky. This is not supposed to be a repeated character trait if they already learned that he can still make things right. There's Diego, who is now taking the role of Manny from Ice Age 2, and speaking of Manny, he's now the worrying father character like how Mumble was in Happy Feet 2. And then we have Scrat, who is his usual acorn-obsessed self, and since he has the best parts of the movie, I get excited and sometimes relieved when he comes on screen. The rest of the characters from the previous films, like Ellie and the Possums, pretty much have no purpose. They barely have some screen time, and they're only there because they were on the previous Ice Age films. When it comes to the new characters, they're not much better than the old ones. Let's start with the antagonists of the film, the pirates, or the ones who stand out more from the rest. First, there's Captain Gut. With Peter Dinklage's performance, he can be a good menacing villain, but I don't think he can be a good menacing pirate. There's Shira, who is Diego's love interest, but instead of believing she's a possum, she's more the type who is loyal to the captain, but once she meets Diego, she slowly but surely turns into the good side. And then there's Flynn, the elephant seal, who other than Scrat, is the funniest character of the movie for his idiotic innocence. By the way, the one thing I want to add about the pirates is that they don't have a purpose why they're evil. They're not looking for gold, they're not looking for power, all they say is that they pillage, they plunder, they rifle and loot, and they kidnap and ravage, and they don't give a hoot. Outside of the pirates, there's Granny, who's Sid's crazy grandma, where normally I would love those kinds of characters, but in here, she's not really funny nor interesting. I don't know if it's the writing or Wanda Sykes, but there's something that doesn't work. And then there's Peaches, Manny's teenage daughter. The best way to describe her is that she's every teenage girl you see in a movie or TV show. She wants to be independent, but her parents doesn't want to. She has a crush on this hot mammoth who, when she talks to him, he wants her to change. She has a nerdy mole hog friend whose friendship often changes during the course of the movie and hates her dad at the beginning, but misses him when he's separated from the group. As you can see, there are way too many characters here to care about, and I can only find 2 that are either memorable or funny. Obviously, the Ice Age franchise has overstayed its welcome. Continental Drift may have some decent animation and some funny scenes with Scrat, but they won't save the fact that the story was reused from the second Ice Age film and crowded with uninteresting and unfunny characters. Now, before the movie would start, there's an animated short of The Simpsons called The Longest Daycare. It's actually the best thing that The Simpsons has released in a while, but even with that, I don't think it's even worth watching it on the big screen. The only recommendation I could do at the most is that if you enjoy the Ice Age sequels, now not the first one, but Ice Age 2 and 3, wait till you can rent it, because I'm not even sure if it's even worth it for Ice Age fans. If Fox still wants the franchise to continue, I would love to see a TV spin-off of Scrat, and that's it. Because I think Sid, Diego, and Manny are pretty much used up by now.